Yo, what's up everybody? How's it going? Rash here. Welcome back to another video of mine. Today we're on episode 3 of Retros of the Past, and I have a shoe that's eluded me for years and years and years, 10 years to be exact. This is the Air Jordan 5 in the Laney colorway. This is from 2013. This is not the OGs from 2000. That's when they originally came out first. Then they had sort of an alternate version, say, come out around 2019. And I really didn't like these. We don't really talk about them. They were all blue suede with yellow accents, and I just thought they were disgusting. Me personally, I fell in love with the Laney 5s with these, the 2013 ones. I had just gotten to high school. I'll tell you a little bit about that story, how I fell in love with that shoe. Just got into high school and started really paying attention to what others were wearing on their feet, and it was just love story from there. But we'll get into that after I give you a little 360 look, tell you what I like about the shoes, show you about the details, and tell you why they mean so much to me. And this video is hopefully going to be as nostalgic for you as it is for me, because you know when you look at a certain thing or you smell a certain smell, and or you go into a certain car and it just brings you back to a certain time and place or a certain memory. Well, this is exactly what it does to me when I look at this shoe. It just brings me back 10 years ago when I was just 13, little teenager that liked Call of Duty Black Ops and I Love Boobies bracelets and Goodwood bracelets, man. That's where I was back then, and that's just what it brings me back to. So I'll get right into it right now. I got these around 2 days ago off of Facebook Marketplace. Actually got them for $220, so shout out to the guy because he had them for like $240 or $260, and I dropped them down. So got these for a really good deal. These are not DS. These are slightly worn, maybe once or twice, like 3 times big max, I think the guy told me, but really not worn heavily, that's what I'll tell you. And the prices on these have always been like $300-400, I think, around that mark. And I checked on StockX, like the buy it now is like 600 Canadian, which is just insane, man. Like, I'm not gonna pay that for some 10-year-old J's that won't even last me a long time before I need to soul swap them. But let's get into the materials of the shoe, because I think they need to be highlighted. Because back in 2013, back in that era, the early 2010s, the Jordan brand didn't really use good materials. If you're around back then, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if you had shoes from back then, you'll know. But I gotta say, the Laney 5s, even the OGs, had a mix of tumbled and smooth leather, which this alternates between sort of a tumbled leather and a really tumbled leather. So on the toe box, as you can see, got it right here, it's pretty soft. It's not the softest and it's not the nicest either. That's not what I'm saying. But compared to my first, well, they were my first pair of Jordan 5s, but like my first pair of OGs ever, like OG colorway Jordans, bro. It was some Jordan 5s, some grapes, right? Got them in 2016, I'd say, from my homie Jacob. He was in my class at the time, and he sold them for me for like $100, $120, and they were slightly used. And when I tell you I beat that shoe into the ground, I literally wore it until the shoe fell, like split apart right here. I'm not even joking. I have a picture of that somewhere. I know I have one because I was just so dumbfounded at what I had done to my shoes. I had just worn that so much, like 3 or 4 years in a row, like pretty much every day. But what I was gonna say is the quality was trash. It was terrible on these. It was legitimately plastic for leather. Like I said, if you have any shoes from back then, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is not premium or anything, but definitely has a nice tumble to it, and it definitely feels better on feet than those grape 5s. Let me tell you, man, let me tell you. But what's crazy is that the 5s from back then, 2013 was a really good year for 5s, I think, because it was the 23rd anniversary of the 5, which makes sense. So they released a bunch of them, and they were actually all really nice. I had the Fresh Princes and I had the Oreos once upon a time, and like I said, 2013 grapes, 2013 Fire Reds, I've had those, and just some good shoes. But the suede ones, the quality was insane, so I don't understand how they couldn't do the same for leather. But it's Jordan brand, so what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? But 2013, man, I'll tell you a bit of a story how I got into kicks, because these definitely play a big role in that. But 2013, I was fashion conscious, but wasn't really into shoes. I didn't even know that sneakerheads were a thing, you know, people who collected shoes. Wasn't even know that was a thing. And come 2013, around Christmas time, I asked my mom for a pair of shoes. That was the first time I ever did that. I asked my mom for a pair of clothing or shoes. It's a pair of Adidas high tops, and it had the Brooklyn logo on the side, the Brooklyn Nets logo on the side going down the back. I thought that was crazy. That was the coolest thing ever. I asked my mom for them, and she said okay, and I got them that Christmas. And I had just started high school that year, so I was really starting to notice like what people were wearing on their feet because we had uniforms. So really the only way to stand out, and I think that's why I wanted those Adidas so bad, because I knew I was gonna have a uniform. So I wanted to stand out a little bit from the others. And all the others were wearing Air Maxes, Air Flights, you know, Air Jordans. I didn't even know those were really like a thing. I mean, I knew what Nikes were in Jordans, but never really paid attention to them. Let me tell you how quickly I switched up on my Adidas shoes when I saw what heat the other kids had, man. Like an air bubble, I had never seen that before. An air bubble, like standing on air, that shit is crazy. Walking on air is insane. As a 13-year-old, as a teenager, that was crazy. Even now, I still look at it, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like my big bubble Air Max, I look at the big bubble and I'm like, damn, like we're really walking on air, man. And it's just, as a kid, man, like you always want to do your best to stand out. Not, at least for me, I didn't want to be the same. And with my Adidas shoes, it took me about 2 years to finally get some Air Max 90s. But what I was going to get to is that this is really, I think, the first Jordan. That specific model, that specific colorway exactly, is what really made me realize, damn, like Jordans are out there. Because like I said, I knew what they were, I think, but I don't think I have ever really paid attention to them. And I saw a girl that was maybe a grade or two above me walking down the hallway one day in 2013, and I saw that exact view right here, that exact view. This girl walking, she had her pants tucked behind the tongue, and I just saw her walking down with the tongue sticking out just like that. And I laced these up just like that because that's exactly how they would have done back then, the homies in my school, with the lace lock hanging on the side and the laces all goosey, lacy goosey crazy. And that's just exactly that I saw with the Jumpman and the shimmery tongue, which is always a part I like better about these. I like the shimmer on the tongue better than the 3M. I really don't care for the 3M at all, if I'm being honest. But saw her walking down and I just thought that was the coolest thing ever, that Varsity Maize and Varsity Yellow together. I mean, Varsity Maize and Varsity Royal, sorry, together. I just thought it was the coolest combo. And also, man, those shark tooth on the side, I was like, man, what is that? Like 23, what? Everything was just so much for me, so much to take in, that I just had to search it up. And that's, if my memory serves me correctly, that's one of my early memories of Jordans, like actually seeing Jordans, seeing what they are. And got my first pair of Jordans in March of 2014, so I had to wait a couple months, but I was hooked. I saw these and I was hooked on Jordans from that day. I'm not even kidding. First pair of Jordans was some Jordan 10s, and it was just, it's history from there, man. It's been 10 years I've been into shoes almost, and it's crazy to see how much it changed. Because this shoe, when I look at it, it reminds me of, you know, Bullet RC, Tony D2 Wild, Sneakerhead in the Bay, Yoanti, T Blake, that's not a name. If you're new in the game, man, you probably have never heard of that name, and yet he's like the godfather of it all, man. Like he's one of the earliest sneaker YouTubers, I think, if I'm not mistaken. At least that I can remind myself of. But yeah, Tony D2 Wild, man, Bullet RC, Sneakerhead in the Bay with his classic intro where he just slaps the SBs. Those were good days, man. I used to literally come home from school, wash my shoes, clean them up with a toothbrush and some dish soap, and then hop on YouTube and spend easy 3-4 hours just watching sneaker YouTube. And back then, like, if you're a new guy in the game, if you're a bit younger than I am, I mean, I'm 22, right? I'm not that old. But if you're a bit younger, if you're a teenager and you're watching these videos, I mean, that's pretty cool that younger people are watching me. But if you're a teenager, you're watching these videos, man, let me tell you, you are very, very lucky to have as many sneaker YouTubers as you do now, because I feel like everybody now does sneaker YouTube. I mean, even hell, I do it. But what I mean is, especially like the bigger ones, back then there wasn't that many big sneaker YouTubers, or maybe 4 or 5, and these are the ones that I can think of that I named. Also Nightwing, how could I forget Nightwing before he was Wear Testers? Nightwing had these crazy videos, like these wear test videos where he did the Air Jordan series, and I always liked watching it. The penny series too. I never had pennies around that time, and I still loved watching those videos. I was so interested in the technology, the history behind the shoes, and that's really what it's all about for me, man. It's the history and the culture behind it. I don't buy shoes just because they look good. That's the main reason, but I also buy them because of the history and what they represent, and I really like that. But yeah, man, just reminds me of turning on my TV, or well, my TV with my PlayStation, you know, around that time, 2014, just getting on sneaker YouTube, eating my cereal or my Nutella toast, and just watching away, spending hours. It's just fun times, stress-free times, you know, times where I could just wake up every day and really enjoy life like nothing mattered. Not like I don't try to do that now, but as an adult, of course, you have responsibilities. It's just a bit harder. It's just not the same, man. Life in general is just not the same. Even when I buy sneakers, it's just not the same. It doesn't hit the same. But when I buy releases like that, it brings me back tenfold, man. It's insane how much nostalgia this brings. That seeing that yellow and that blue together. And really what I'm trying to do is acquire all these shoes that I couldn't get back then because I didn't have a job. I was too young for that. That's really what I'm trying to do. I've already acquired some of them. They're not with me anymore. Now I'm really trying to get everything back, because even up to like a year ago, I was really just doing rotations, buying stuff up, like rotating it every few months. Even if I really liked it, I wanted something new, and that's what I liked doing back then. And not that I regret it, but I really should have kept a lot of those shoes. And what I'm trying to do is really get everything back and not really keep them for a long time. That's what I'm trying to do, get some value out of it, because I had Thunder 4s, I had Fresh Prince 5s, I had Fire Red 5s from back then. I had a lot of heat, older heat, man, that I shouldn't have gotten rid of. Because, man, even my White Cement 4s, my 2016 White Cement 4s, I told myself I'd never get rid of them, and I did. I don't know why, but dumb move for me. That was my fault. But yeah, these are the first step to that, getting all these shoes I couldn't get when I was a teenager. But yeah, I'll give you a last little look, man, and we'll wrap it up from there, because this video is getting a bit long. But yeah, beautiful shoe, can't wait to rock them. Beautiful condition, man. Really happy about this marketplace steal. So there you guys have it. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you guys like listening to me geek out on some nostalgia from when I was a kid, younger. If you guys have anything to say in the comments, please do. I'm curious to see if you guys have any of the same memories from that time as I do, like the sneaker YouTube and all that, or the fashion. Just tell me about it, man. Let's have a discussion. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you are not already. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you when I see you. Take care of yourselves, guys. Peace out.